Hello, Rebel, and welcome back to my life. I spent all of Christmas Eve and all of Christmas Day building a backyard playset for my kids. I'm not new to huge Christmas construction projects. For 5 years straight, I've stayed up late building things for my kids to receive as gifts on Christmas morning. This year, my wife promised me there wouldn't be any late-night building projects, and to her credit, she didn't buy the playset, it was her aunt, but I'm not complaining. It's beautiful, and I'm happy to have it, even if it took so long to put together. I laid out all the pieces and tried to organize them as best I could. Spoiler alert, they still weren't very organized. And then I read through the instructions multiple times in advance trying to see how this was all going to go down, though of course I had to read them several more times during the project itself. I'm glad it didn't snow while I was working, though it did rain a couple of times, and the whole project was done in low 30-degree weather. From sunup to sundown and late into the night, I worked with hammer and drill and socket wrench putting everything together. I'm not gonna lie, it was a pain in the butt. Occasionally I got some help from Meg or the kids, but mostly it was just me, alone, in the backyard, in freezing cold weather with a bunch of tools and a bunch of wood phrasing. I cut myself, I pinched myself, I cussed a lot, I drank a bit of beer, and I soldiered through it as best I could. But the whole time I was working on it, I felt like I should be doing something else. There's so many things I'm working on all the time, and I have so far to go in my career right now that it honestly felt like a waste of time to be farting around in my backyard building a playset. Sometimes I can get so focused on my work that anything besides that and time spent immediately with my family feels like a distraction. I don't want to go to parties, I don't want to go see movies, I don't even want to go on my regular walks. There's this sense that every minute I'm not sitting at my desk tapping away at the keyboard is time wasted. That's not a healthy mindset, but it's one that's hard to shake when many of my books need to be re-edited and entirely new ones need to be written. You hear this a lot from freelancers. It's hard to take time off because it always feels like a wasted opportunity, a missed chance to get your next big job, or to be making a bit more money so next month isn't as hard as this month. I'm not a freelancer, but I'm beginning to approach the next big phase of my company and getting ready for a whole slew of new projects in the new year. And I constantly feel like there just isn't enough time to do the things I need to do to prepare. But the playset was there. It was not going away. I could either build it, or I could leave it sitting in our garage where it wasn't doing anything for anybody. One thing I've tried to improve about myself this year is that if I decide something should be done at all, I also think that it should be done as quickly as possible. It's an old military saying that any plan carried out quickly and effectively is better than no plan at all. I prefer to think that if you commit to completing a plan as quickly as you can, it hopefully gets it out of the way so that you can start the next thing, and at the worst you discover that the plan is flawed and you can change it. I didn't work for 24 hours over 2 days because I super love construction or something. I did it because if I didn't finish the damn thing, it was going to be this huge unfinished project taking up our whole backyard for days or weeks or longer. At least that's what I thought. And then this morning, the morning after Christmas, the kids finally got to go outside to play. And that's when I remembered why I'd really worked so hard to finish it. Because as much of a pain as it was to build the playset, and as much as I'm still in pain now, that is temporary. That passes by in a blink. But the time my kids are going to spend on the thing I built, and which Megan's aunt so generously gave us, and which Meg kept me supplied with food and coffee so that I could build, that is going to be there for years, and the memories we'll build around it will last forever. This has been such a rough year for so many people in so many ways. I hope it turns out to have been a lot of pain and discomfort and uncertainty on the way to something much better and which will last a lot longer. Merry Christmas, Rebel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you Friday. Bye.